Hey guys, welcome back to my Java tutorial series. I'm sorry this is getting out really late. I've been adjusting to my first semester in college. That is now done, and with that adjustment made, I'm hoping to be able to get these out, at least like once every other week. Um, it all depends on my homework level. So, and like, because these videos take time. It takes time to plan the lesson, it takes time to record it, takes time to um, edit it down. If I make a mistake, then I have to cut that and finagle with the video itself. So that's my goal, um, and I hope I can make it there. But anyways, let's get into lesson 9, and this one should be nice and short. It's just about commenting in Java on Eclipse. So right now I'm on the methods examples.java that I used for obviously the methods lessons. And I'm going to start with what's called the line comment. And we've used that before, and I think I said I'll make a video on comments later, and so here I am. But this one's very simple. It is 2 slashes like so, and that removes this entire line from the compiler's reading. It'll just ignore this and go to the next line. So it'll start from line 1, go down, go down, go down, skip lines 9, 10, and 11, and then continue on down below. So I could make it go forever if I really wanted to. I don't know why you would though. What you can do is select a lot of lines, do control, and then that same slash. I don't know if it's forward or backslash. I never remember or really know which one's which, but that's the slash. Starts in the top, goes backwards. So maybe it's a backslash, maybe because you start at the top, go backwards, or maybe it's a forward slash because that's the angle it's pointing at. I have no idea. But yeah, control plus that slash, and it comments out all of the selected lines. Now, let's say you didn't want to have to deal with that because that's kind of a mess, and you can just do control slash again on the highlighted text to undo. And that brings us to what's called the block comment. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. That's what I've seen with different sources. I've also just seen, it's just unnamed. But I'm going to refer to it as the block comment, and it's very simple. All you do is you take the first line that you want to comment out. So let's say I want line 6 to be commented. I'll do that slash asterisk, and you can see that Eclipse highlights everything as green, except for, of course, variable names and, um, well, we'll deal with that later. And modifiers. I'll just call it a modifier for now. But you can see it highlights everything green, and that's for line comments too. I forgot to mention that, but it was pretty obvious. So line comments and block comments are highlighted green, but you can see it's throwing an error. It's saying unexpected end of comment. So what we have to do is pick our end line. So let's say I want the last line to be commented to be 16. I'll just do asterisk and then that same slash. So you can see it just comments out this block of code, and Eclipse makes it nice and easy to just shorten that so you don't have to worry about it. But there it is. It does all of that, and you don't have to worry about doing control slash. So I actually like this more than the control slash if you're doing many lines of text. If it's just a few, the double slash for the line comment is probably more efficient. It's easier to just remove. But this is really good if you want to comment out entire methods of code. So I'm going to remove that one because we don't need it, and I'll just leave those because that's what they were like before. So the final comment is called the Javadoc comment, or just simply documentation comments. In C++, they're referred to as function contracts. So those of you who are familiar with that language already kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. And it's really just to explain the purpose of your method and give a brief overview. So they begin like this. You do the same comment slash, really, 2 asterisks this time, and you'll see that it highlights blue. And if you're thinking, um, critically here, you'll notice that it's very similar to the block comment. And then you'll realize, okay, well, I know what the error is without even having to know. There's no end. And what's neat about Eclipse is you don't actually have to worry about the end. As long as you put it in front of a method, you just need to hit enter, and it pretty much does most of the things for you. So what I'm going to do is just do a brief overview, on this first line. So I'll just say adds, that is not the right 2, adds 2 numbers. And then I have my parameters at param, that's the tag for naming a parameter, and I'll show you what exactly that does in a sec. And that, num1, the first number to be added. And then the same thing for num2, except the second number to be added. And this is just so that people know exactly, all right, so this is what this method's going to do, this is what it needs, and this is what it returns. So this one, because I have this return value, I need to specify the return tag, and this one just returns the sum of num1 and num2. Sometimes what I like to do for return, if it has a return, then I usually like to do the sum. So in that case, what I'm really trying to get at here is I like to say tag and then the variable that I'm either returning, or in this case what the parameter is. And I like to say what it is and then give the explanation, just so that people that are trying to read this know exactly, all right, so this is parameter and this is return. These are the variables I'm looking for. Awesome. So what's cool about this is if you hover over add, it actually shows you your Javadoc comment, and scrolling around doesn't help. So we can see adds 2 numbers, first line, and then it actually specifies parameters, num1, the first number to be added, num2, the second number to be added. And for returns, like, yes, sum isn't bolded. That's because it's not actually required to put the variable that it returns, because sometimes you might be returning something else. You might not be returning a variable. You might be returning an expression if it's an int. Like, I could just say, instead of all of this, and I'm going to use the block comment here to comment out that code, I could really just do return num1 plus num2. That's fine. And so I don't even need the sum variable. I don't even need to specify sum. I can just say return the sum of num1 and num2. So that's really just preference for me whenever I'm returning a variable. And then let's uncomment this so we don't have any errors. Perfect. So yeah, that's it for returning variables. And I should probably do a void function too, just so that's good. So we have a different addition one. So we'll do Javadoc comment for that. Adds 2 numbers. I don't need to specify what they are until here. Let's just do the first, not Fritz, the first number. Let's take the lazy man's way out, and the second number. Now, what I like to do for void functions is this is actually something I picked up in my intro to computer science course that I took this past fall, and I like to specify, and my computer's having a little problem here, but I kind of like to specify that there is no return expected if it's a void function, just because if you just want to call it up, or and you don't really want to look at the whole thing, you don't want to look at the access specifier and the type expected, you might want to say no return expected. And I don't know if this is actually going to be something I keep doing, just because it says void at front. I needed to for my intro to computer science course because we didn't use Eclipse or any IDE, which was kind of a bummer, but oh well. Because you can just leave this blank and don't even need to worry about it. Actually, I think I'm going to go back to doing this method, and I'm sharing my thoughts aloud because I think it's important to understand, the different arguments for, different styles of coding. So, including that at return for void, it's thorough. However, I think I'm going to start leaving it out for void methods or functions is because if you say, there's a return and then you write no return expected, it's a lot more reading that needs to be done. You see there is no return here, so that is, I think that's a little more clear for void. But I digress. Uh, sorry if you had to, sorry that you had to listen through ramblings, but I think there was something to be gained from there if you're a coding beginner. So those are the comments for Java. Nice and easy, you know. Very useful, especially the Javadoc comments. It's very nice to comment your code. Very good habit to be getting into because as things get more complex, it's going to become more important that you can articulate what's going on here. That way, someone doesn't have to like sift through some 100-line method just so that they can understand what's going on when you can really just give them a few lines of summary. So that's fun. And I think that concludes today's lesson. So thanks for watching. If you found anything useful, like or subscribe, or leave a comment. If you are confused with anything, I think my contact information's on the channel, so definitely shoot me an email or just leave a comment. Easy as that. Feedback's important, so if you have any of that, I appreciate it. Thank you in advance. And that concludes Lesson 9, comments. See you later, guys.